Yeah, I think we need to change, you know, and look after our animals, insects.
So yeah, got to find a way where we can find a
Well,
balance, a
one,
harmonious balance between having to provide for our population and also, you know, not destroy the planet as much. Got to find a way where we can.
well, I know the way.
It's got to be a balance between
Yeah,
the two.
I think I know the way, yeah,
Mm.
in a kind of way, and that's educating people.
Yeah.
Right, you know, educating people about, for instance, how incredible and beautiful all insects are, you know, and making people aware, really, that insects are important,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, there is a religion, alright, that goes back, one of our first religions, and the monks are still working today, and they don't wear any clothes, these monks, right, but they go around saving insects all day, do you know what I mean? And I think we've kind of lost our religion in a funny way, you know, because of the world we live in, with lots of distractions, you know, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
We've lost our nature
Yeah.
in a funny way, where we used to, I think.
Yeah. We used to be a lot more in touch and in tune.
Not just,
with
I think
nature.
be honest with you, I think 1,000 years ago, yeah, people used to heal and things like that. You'd have like kind of a magical, you know.
Mm.
I think people used to, you know, communicate a bit better,
Yeah.
you know, without all these distractions out there. You know, we're living in a world full of information, as I say. You know, and information is not knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, you got to remember that one. You know, it's sometimes you've got to forget about all this information and look at the just nature itself, you know, just the trees, the sun, the moon, and what's real and what's not, you know, and what's man-made.
Yeah.
You know, like every book, for instance, man-made.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything you look at is almost man-made, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's like even last time, like there was a guy. I remember even like we're coming up to Christmas this year, yeah. But I remember even last year Christmas, right? I was just thinking there was this guy that made a video and he basically said, so we were all talking about in his video he was basically saying everyone's talking about saving the planet, but every Christmas, just for example, you buy shitloads of stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of boxes and paper and all sorts of stuff, and it all goes in the bin.
Crazy, isn't it? I think it's
and
crazy.
It's just like, you know, all these trees get destroyed, and you know, etc., etc. You know, it's just, you know, we are at a point where we need to start being more sensible as human beings, you know, and understanding that sustainability is the way forward. You know, we need to be a lot more conscious about using our electric, and all these various different things, you know, because the more that we can all cut down on, like, say if you're not in a room, say you're in your bedroom, and you know you're not going back to the lounge that for the rest of the night, turn off the light before you leave the lounge. You know, if you're in the lounge, turn off the light. Then, you know, just you know, just for example, like, you know,
It's
like
yeah.
just be more. We need to be more conscious as a society not to waste, to reduce wastage. I think that would play a huge part as well. Not overusing our electric where we don't need to. You know, of course we still need to use our electric. We all want to use the internet and etc., etc., etc. Have our hot water to take a bath or a shower. But it's just being sensible with it, you know, just not having shit on all the time that doesn't need to be on unnecessarily, you know. Remember to turning switches on if you're not using it anymore. All these various different things, you know, not overusing water, if you see it, not wasting water, you know. Some people, when they brush their teeth, they might brush their teeth for 3 minutes and the whole time they've got the water on for 3 minutes running. And it's like you're wasting water. Like, all these small different things. I know it sounds very cliche, and I know it sounds cliche, and it's very, you know, simple. It's very, you know, it's just very logical, of course. But this is what we need to do as a society to help reduce our own personal emissions as well. because we are contributing as a human race and society to the destruction of the planet, which we all call home. So if we want to have a sustainable future for my children, your kids are grown up now, and others, then we need to start thinking about being more serious. That's as simple as it is. It's not rocket science. It's just being more serious, being more conscious of looking after our environment, you know? Stop as much waste. You know, like, okay, I work in an environment every day, right? Where I see so much food go in the bin. It's unbelievable. They fill up 2 large black bags. No, sorry, 3. Breakfast, lunch and dinner. They fill up 3 large black bags of wastage. Food waste. That's just food wastage.
You want to see when I used to work at Tesco's.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that was like.
Right, it's
ridiculous.
I worked at Tesco's for 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I become supervisor. Right? I was only stacking shelves. Yeah.
Mm.
But at the end of the night, I finish at 5 a.m. I used to work nights.
Mm.
At the end of the night, they'd sell food cheap, very cheap to the staff.
Yeah.
You know, and sort of like this is going on for 2 years. But my last year, they stopped doing it and they just threw it away instead.
Mm.
I thought, what a waste that is. Do you know what I mean? You know, they're
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I know. It's like, you know,
I
it's like
I was going to say a point about water, like a couple of thousand years ago, yeah, sort of like in hot countries, you know, where the deserts are and all that, like it was a criminal offence to waste water.
That's what I mean, like.
You know, that it would be actually, you get death sentence.
Yeah, yeah.
If you waste water, you know, because it's so sort of like gold, you know, do you know what I mean? You know.
Well, there is some there are some places today in the world where they do have water restrictions.
Well, look at us today. We go to the toilet and we flush it. You know, we don't really. We're not. You know, we'd get done for that like years back.
Yeah. But that's what I'm going to say. Some people, like, they're even encouraging. I'm not saying you have to do it, you know, because like even me, like I like my house to be clean too. I'm big on cleanliness and all that type of stuff. But like they say, to be honest, if you're going to the toilet and you're just going to, you know, you're just going to pee, you could probably wait till you've gone. You could probably wait till you've peed 2 or 3 times before you flush. Let's say, for example, you know. Of course, if you go to number 2, of course you're going to flush. That's automatic. But maybe, you know, that's automatic. You want to get rid of that. You know, you want to, you know, make sure that's gone. But if you're just going to pee, I think, like they say, maybe you should wait. If you're just going to pee 2 or 3 times, you know, throughout the day, 4 to 5 times throughout the day, just wait till you know, and then flush. You know.
But I don't think we can carry on like this with toilets.
You know, just like you said, we've got to find lots of different, you know, creative, logical ways that we can just sustain shit. You know, just stop wasting.
So nature wins in the end.
Yeah. And if we keep destroying it, and you know, reality, you know, society isn't looking that great. You know, going forward. You know.
So what I love about nature, though, you know, so when I go for a walk into you know, a forest or something, you know, it makes me feel better. You know, it feels like, you know, like on a nice warm sunny day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After a day out, you come home and it kind of gives you an energy of beauty.
Yeah.
You know, and where like if you stayed indoors all day, you wouldn't get that. You know, you'd feel quite miserable actually, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you stayed within your 4 walls all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, where nature gives you some sort of meditation sort of thing to the soul.
Yeah.
And heals you basically, I feel.
Yeah.
You know. I feel like if you're ever feeling like in a bad mood somewhere or angry about something, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Because it really makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And think better.
Yeah, clear your mind.
And clear your mind. Do you know what I mean?
Fresh air.
Especially
I get some fresh air.
Go for a walk in the forest if you can, you know.
If
But
you
some,
can,
some
yeah.
people can't, you know.
Yeah.
That's a sad thing.
They haven't got that luxury.
No.
Yeah.
Or go to walk in the park or somewhere, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get near to trees if possible, you know, because I think, like, especially trees, I feel they heal somehow, you know.
Somehow, yeah.
You know, trees do a lot, actually, do you know what I mean? I mean, there's a tree called the Tree of Life in Africa or something, you know, and it's called the Tree of Life because that's what it does, you know, it drinks lots of rain, whatever, you know, during the winter or whatever, you know, and it sort of stores it all up for the summer, and it sort of looks after all the animals and people because of it, you know, just the way it, and then it sort of supplies fruit, and it also supplies a shade for them so they can keep cool, you know, all these animals and things, you know.
Yeah.
You know, trees do so much, you know, and you think like, okay, when you walk underneath the trees, not in the winter mind, but in the summertime, you know, when they're fall leaves and all this, whatever. So you got the photosynthesis leaves, whatever, picking up the sunlight.
Yeah.
But you're walking underneath it.
Yeah.
And the trees are shading you, and it's nice and cool.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like the clouds behave in that way as well. They kind of cool you down too. You know, if we want any clouds in the sky, it'd be a lot hotter.
Yeah.
We wouldn't survive, basically. Do you know what I mean? The clouds help cool the
All the
weather
black,
system down.
definitely, yeah.
You know, and you think we got sweat. Yeah. Oh, you know, I think humans are actually one of the only animals that sweat.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, which is quite strange. I don't know if that's true. You know, I'm gonna have to research on a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I sort of read that the other day or whatever.
Yeah.
But you think about sweat. You know how when we get a little bit hot, we sweat.
Yeah.
You know, and we've got this water running down.
That's it. I remember even out in the Caribbean, mate, like working out in the Caribbean. I was living out in the Caribbean and working out there. Working in the hot sun every day wasn't easy, mate. Especially when it's like 30 degrees, you know, or plus, you know. Anything above 25, mate, is, you know, anything above that, and usually it's always above that. When you're working in that every day, mate, by the time you finish work, I used to always wear a vest under my shirt for that reason. So by the time I finish work, like, I could take off my vest and like almost like wring it out. Like, you've been running around for 8 hours, you know, like, you know, 9 hours, 10 hours, and it's just hot, sweltering, and it's just, you know, you're drenched, you know.
So I personally don't sweat too much.
No, I don't sweat too much, but in those conditions, when you're doing hard manual labour, in working in a hotel, running around doing various different jobs for you know, doing maintenance basically in the hotels, you're running around doing all sorts of different things throughout the day. You know, moving beds sometimes. You might be, you know, doing some decorating. You might be doing all sorts of different jobs, if you see what I mean. So yeah, but yeah, especially, and during the day too. Sometimes we had to do some gardening too occasionally as well. You know, so sometimes we try to do that like first thing in the morning. Like I say to my boss, you know, do you mind if I start work at like 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning? So by the time I get to work, I usually get the bus at like 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, smoke a quick little joint on the way to the bus stop, you know, on the way to work, you know, jump in the bus, you know, quickly, you know, 5 o'clock, get to work about 5:30, chill out, you know, get changed, chill out, have a little cup of tea and a little something to eat quickly or something, and then start work at 6, you know, and then go outside, make sure everything that needed to be done outside, if there's anything that needed to be done outside, like any cleaning up or anything that needed to be done by the pool, or anything that needs to be done, you know, spray down the sunbeds and shit, make sure they're clean for the day for the guests and stuff. Like, all that shit was done by like 8 o'clock. So you try to start at 6 and get all that stuff done outside by 8 o'clock, half past 8. So by the time it really starts to get hot, you're inside the hotel. You know what I mean? Doing all those all the other types of jobs, you know.
I think we're
taking the laundry baskets up the stairs for the ladies.
I know people think we're living in this is all natural.
Yeah.
The way we are. You've got to think like animals, or ducks, for instance. You know, if they had occupation like us, they had different jobs. You know, you had, say the ducks, for instance, you had doctor ducks and you had police ducks. You know, they're all going to work. Like, you know, the alarm's going off every morning. You know, but we're the only people that are doing this, do you know what I mean? That have got this kind of system where we're doing things with each other for a bit of money.
Yeah, I like the duck. I like the duck. I like the duck bit.
Well, we're doing a bit for a little money.
I was just
for a
imagining.
favour.
It's just that I was imagining it in my head. That was all, you know.
Sometimes the way, you know, I think, you know, like a duck going, you know, getting up, waking up in the morning, having a joint, you know, and then sort of getting a bus, you know, and then going to work at 7 o'clock, you know, and then coming home knackered or whatever, you know, and sort of getting ready for the next day so you can wake up again, you know, and do the same thing, you know.
Well, I was lucky, right, mate, over there. I used to only work a 9-hour shift. So 9 or 10 hour shift at the most, you know, whereas here I do 12.5, 13 sometimes. But yeah, over there I start work at like 2 o'clock, and then I start work at like 6 or 7 o'clock, and then by 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm off. You know what I mean? And I've still got a good bit of time before I've got to go to bed. So I'm thinking, and the luxury where most of the places that I used to work is where they used to have like a shower for the staff. There'd be like one shower. That'd be, you know, obviously there'd be bathrooms and stuff, but they'd usually have one shower as well, occasionally in some of the bathrooms. Where after work you could take a quick shower, so that's what I would usually do. Take a change of clothes, obviously, because you've been sweating all day working hard. Just go and take a quick shower, you know, obviously, you know, close the door, have a quick shower, get changed, leave, get the bus home, and then by the time I get home, mate, it's like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm going to chill with my boys for like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then it's home time. Head home, get something to eat. Bedtime, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Back up again at 4. You know?
I think humans are mad.
Yeah, back up at 4.
Crazy.
I used to get up at 4, mate. 4, take a shower. You know, because I have to get up at 4, take a shower, make a quick cup of tea. You know, I would drink a cup of tea for it. You know, and then joint on the way to, like I said, on the way to work. You know, walk up the road. You know, 4:45, walk up the road. Quick smoke, jump in the bus, off the way to work. You know.
I want to be a duck in my next life, though. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, they sleep when they want, they do what they want, they're happy.
That's a good thing. That's a good question to ask someone. If you had the choice, that's a really good question. That'd be something we could possibly talk about in the future. Reincarnation, the idea of it, anyway. But that'd be a really good question to ask someone, actually. If you had the chance, like, to reincarnate and come back, what would you choose? If you had the choice, what would you choose to be, and why? You know.
I think I'd be an elephant, to be honest with you, because they're strong. You know, it's important to be strong.
I think I'll be a human again now.
No, I don't think I will.
I would.
They're crazy. Why would you want to be human? You know, I think they're crazy. I think I'd rather be an elephant.
Because I don't know, like, I enjoy life. Like, I'm so thankful and grateful for life.
I know that.
I'm the type of person that, like, I'm so appreciative of life that, you know, like, the blessing of having life, being able to wake up and just do shit every day, you know, even if it's sometimes shit that you don't always want to do, to be honest, you know, because a large portion of life is taken up by shit too that you don't want to always do, but you have to do. That's just reality, but, you know.
I'll ask you a question, Josh.
Yeah.
What would you rather be, a bird or human? A bird that can fly, or a human?
That's a good one, only because obviously I am experiencing being human. You know, give thanks.
Well, you've got to imagine being a bird.
But like you said, that's a good one though too, because if you had the choice to come back, because humans aren't able to fly, as we know. Well, of course we can fly. We can get in a plane and fly. But, I mean, we can't fly, if you get what I'm trying to say. So, the opportunity to be able to fly, to see what that's like, would be quite amazing, I think, you know.
Depending on what type of bird you are, as I say, every bird's got different.
Well, I was going to say, I would probably want to be one of those birds that's over in one of the falcons, mate. I don't want to be something like that, mate. That I am, you know, I know that I'm protected, like, you know, not many things are going to try to mess with that.
Well, they go 200 miles per hour, do you know what I mean? They're the fastest birds in the world, right?
Yeah.
But birds, right, they haven't got hands. Okay, so when you see a bird, you know, they're not sort of like drawing or writing, are they?
No.
Like we are. You know, this is why books are bought, do you know what I mean? We got hands. Humans have got hands, you know, and that's probably the biggest difference to any other animal. going really. The chimpanzee has got the nearest, okay?
Yeah.
They can do this a little bit, alright? But our hands are so amazing, alright? They're like our eyes almost, do you know what I mean? Our eyes are amazing, but our hands are too. You know, and birds haven't got hands, you know, where they can actually touch the female bird or something, you know, with the hands. You know, they haven't got that, you know, they got wings, they can't touch like we can. Or jaw, or do many things really, you know, like that's why we got the world we're living in, you know, because we've got hands and we make things, we're always, you know, with our hands going like this. Or,
oh yeah.
do you know what I mean? Or making things.
Yeah, trying to create.
Knitting or.
We are creators. We are creators.
Like birds can't knit because you know they've got wings. You know.
But we as human beings, we're creators, mate. We're designed to create. That's what we do. We're designed to create and procreate. If you get what I'm saying, you know. We create the world that we want around us. That's just what we do as human beings. We create our own environments.
Well, for some reason, nature has given human beings the best hands possible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can do
multitude of different things.
Well, you know, you can see we can even make humans can make mobile phones today. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And they make nanotechnology today. You know?
Microscopic.
But
type stuff.
even so, you know, it's all done by human at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? And that's what makes us different to every animal and bird, really. You know, we got hands.
Yeah.
And we're always doing things, and we have done for thousands of years. You know, building pyramids, doing this, doing that. You know, whatever. We've got hands.
Yeah.
You know, we should be sort of like, I think nature created us, or God created us really to care about nature.
Yeah.
But this material world sort of evolved, and it's kind of like people have got a different perspective because of all this stuff, material world. They kind of fall in love with it in a kind of way and get lost, you know. And I feel like
too many distractions, like we say, like we always say.
Too many distractions, and it's taking people's true nature away.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, even I'm, you know, not fully like Adam and Eve was, you know, because I'm living in a city. You know what I mean?
No, not only that, but we're living in modern day society. We're living in the year 2022, about to be 2023. You know, not long, in 60 something days. 60 something days it's going to be 2023.
Yeah.
That's just reality.
Time goes quick as well.
And this year has just gone like that. And everyone said the same thing. This year, in particular, has literally just gone in a blink of an eye. You know? But yeah. You know? Yeah. We live in modern day society. You know, we're never going to live. Well, you could do. There are some people that live fully off grid, but they're still reliant on certain things, if you see what I mean. You know, some modern day appliances and stuff. Like, there are people that live truly off grid, you know, but they still need certain things like shelter and etc. You know, certain luxuries and stuff that they might still want to have, if you see what I mean. You know, there are some people that literally bought a large house and estate and land. And have all their own livestock and crops and vegetables and fruit and etc. And pretty much almost cows, you name it, you know, etc. Are almost completely self-sustainable, you know. But they might still rely on a tractor or electric. They rely on electrical power for some, you know, for something. You know?
I think humans are really meant to migrate though, all the time, do you know what I mean?
Well, that's it. That's another interesting thing that we could talk about too. That's another topic for another day. Yeah, to be honest, it's another interesting to talk about migration.
Well, that's what we used to do.
Migration, you know?
You know, it's only these towns that really sort of made us, we've got to stay where we are.
Well, not necessarily. It's a choice thing too.
It's
but
a problem.
They've made it hard for the average person today to be able to travel a lot anyway. You know, the average person might get a few holidays a year, if they're lucky, and that's not that many by the time you think about it, you know, by the time you know. So, yeah, you know, I think there should be something in place where people are allowed to travel, mate, if you see what I mean, you know. Like, you know, it should be, I don't know, not, I don't even know, I don't even want to say free, but it's like you should be able to, like, the world belongs to us, the human race, if you see what I mean, and everything that's, you know.
Well, it's meant to, I think, you know. Like,
the planet belongs to us, you know, like we should be able to, if tomorrow I decide I want to get on a plane and go somewhere, I should be able to go there and explore and etc. Like like you said, all these borders and etc. You know, that are in place. It's just like people should be allowed to come and go freely. You know, I'm not saying all people, because obviously
it's kind of like they made a prison.
Yeah, and I can understand them restricting criminals and stuff coming into their country and stuff like that. People that have got long criminal records or stuff like that, they might not want that person coming into their country. You know, fair enough. That's fair enough. But just the average Joe should not be questioned about coming into another country, or like just like that person should be able to go there and explore and roam around. Like the planet belongs to the human, you know.
Like I say,
us humans, we should be able to be free.
These borders slowly evolved or whatever, yeah.
No, of course, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I think they're all.
And it is what it is today, but yeah.
You know, but they've made these borders kind of, you know, sometimes they've got these barbed wires in between.
Oh yeah, it's true, yeah.
And all this, you know. But why?
Yeah.
You know, take all these borders away, free us, stop living in a prison. You know what's going on here. You know what I mean? Let's put one name on the planet and call it the world.
Yeah.
You know, get rid of all the names. You know, do you know what I mean? It's deluding people a bit, you know, in a funny way, you know. I know it's important in a funny way to sort of have names so you know where you're going, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like me, right, yeah, how I look at it, I was born in my country, the UK, yeah. But I was born in the world.
Yeah.
You know, I was born in the same world as everyone else, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even proud of my country, you know, do you know what I mean? Because of the government, you know.
Well, not only that, but if you look at
I'm proud of
the history,
yeah.
like there's a lot of countries have a long, you know, a long reign of destructive, horrible history.
Yeah.
You know, without being too, you know, without going into too much detail, you know, or just colonialism in itself.
Yeah.
You know, for one example was, you know, we already know the horrors that came along with that, you know.
I mean, this place not always been called Great Britain, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it was called something else.
But I remember there was a rapper I used to listen to years ago, who used to say, "What's great about Britain? I've never seen it, it must be hidden," or something like that, you know. You know, it was a rhyme, something like that, you know, "What's great about Britain? I've never seen it, it must be hidden," something like that, you know. I used to think the same thing, to be honest, because it's just like, I think sometimes people have a misconception from the outside world looking in about the UK, like, and not only that, but other countries too, you know, like America and stuff like this. But you know, most places are the same.
But once upon a time, you know,
the average working class people are all pretty much the same.
Now, once upon a time, all the lands used to be joined up. You know, now I look at it, is like we've just got like, we share the ocean. You know what I mean, there's only one ocean kind of way that sort of circulates around the world. You know, and you know, like there's just rivers between the land, really. You know, with different names.
Yeah.
You know, and I just find it sad where. Just wish that we could all live in the same world. You know what I mean? We're all human beings, you know. But the way I think about it, yeah, you've got human beings, yeah, but you've also got the royal family, which are kind of different human beings altogether, or they seem to think they're different.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, they're controlling the whole human race, really.
To a degree.
No, yeah, well,
to a degree.
I've done for.
You've got other people who are more powerful than these people too. But yeah, they, like even the Queen, when she passed, they estimated that she owned 16-point-something% of the world's
land.
Land.
Yeah.
And that's a huge amount, considering if you think about all the land that there is